Hello everyone, today in this video we are going to be talking about Acheron. Yes, Acheron is getting her third rerun, third rerun, or second rerun I think. Yes, Acheron is getting her second rerun in HSR. So she is getting a rerun in the first phase of 3.2. So we're going to talk about her best relics, her best Eidolon, her best Lightcone, her best teams. Alright, so if you're new to the channel, you just found me on YouTube, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, like and share. Let's get down to the business, okay? So let's talk about Acheron. Okay, we all know Acheron is a remarkable powerful DPS that can annihilate enemies with her powerful ultimate. Okay, that can ignore weakness type and does not have an energy cost. All right, if you're looking for a very powerful, strong hyper carry that can perform well against enemies and not weak to lightning, there's your answer. Acheron, go get Acheron. She still kicks a punch still this day. I know power creep has been a big issue in Honkai Star Rail, but Acheron is still a T1 tier list character even at this day. Even when Aglia exists, Acheron still kicks a punch. Okay, all right. And Acheron is a must pull. I wouldn't say Acheron is a must pull right now, but she certainly is a great unit. And I honestly think if you get her Lightcone, then she is just a remarkable character. Okay, so she is worth pulling, definitely. We're gonna talk about that thing later on when you get to the end section of the video. Okay, we're gonna talk about her best and slot Lightcone. All right, guys, let's talk about Acheron best and slot Lightcone. So Acheron best and slot Lightcone is probably gonna be her signature. No doubt about that. Her signature is the best and slot Lightcone. All right, her signature is the best and slot Lightcone, hands down, and the passive is just amazing. It increases crit damage by 36%. It gives you a lot. It increases your overall damage, and it gives you two. I think it gives you two stack as well. It increases your overall damage of your ultimate, and increases your damage to the enemies by 24%. So it's overall a great, valuable must pull Lightcone for Acheron. So if let's say you have let's say you have Acheron and you don't have this Lightcone, I highly recommend you to get this Lightcone. And yeah, so if you don't, let's say you don't have this Lightcone, which one would be her second best? Her second best is probably gonna be this one. This one is a 4-star gacha, so if you have a lot of copies of this, then you can definitely give this to Acheron. This increases crit rate by 8%, and it also deals 24% more damage to enemies that are slowed or have reduced defense. So it's really good. This is probably gonna be the second best in slot for Acheron. If you don't have this, then I would recommend you to use Goodnight Sleep Well. If you have S5 Goodnight Sleep Well, it's still really good for Acheron. If you have an S5, I highly recommend using this if you don't have a signature. Okay, so but yeah, the signature is overall the best, and I highly recommend pulling for this Lightcone, which will be very helpful for your Acheron to deal a lot of damage. Now we're gonna talk about Acheron best relics. Her best and slot relic is probably gonna be her the 4-piece Pioneer of Dead Waters. The 2-piece increases the debuff, and the 4-piece increases crit rate and increases the crit damage by 2-3 whenever there's 2-3 enemies debuffs inflict. It increases her overall crit damage, and after the wear inflicts a debuff on the enemy target. This, that, blah blah blah, as you can see in the passive. Okay, so this is gonna be the best in slot. Alright, I would not recommend any other set beside this. This is probably gonna be the best in slot, and you should farm this. If you don't have it, just farm it. Just farm this. You would not regret it. For the body piece, I suggest you to use depending on your ratio. You can either use crit rate or crit damage depending on your since Acheron gets most amount of crit damage from her Lightcone, you can use crit rate. I would suggest you to use crit rate, and she gets a lot of crit damage from her traces. So I recommend you to use crit rate on the body piece instead of crit damage. Yeah, crit rate, I highly recommend using it. On the boot, I recommend you to use attack percentage. Okay, for the best in slot planar ornament. All right, the best in slot planar ornament is probably gonna be this one, Izumo Genshi and Takama Divine Realm. These 2 pieces are probably gonna be the best in slot for Acheron. If you have this, that will be great. The second best is probably gonna be Inter Salsato. So if you have Inter Salsato, it's really good. It increases the crit rate, and it increases her ultimate and follow-up attack as well. So follow-up attack, she doesn't need it, but increases her ultimate 50%, which is really nice. So if you don't have this relic set, her Izomo relic set, Izomo, then I would recommend you to use Insert Salsato. Alright, Inner Salsato, you can use that as well. For the substat, I recommend you to focus on critical rate, critical damage, and attack percentage. These are the 3 substats you need to focus on. Okay, alright. Okay, so her best in slot team is probably gonna be Jaichu. Jaichu is probably gonna be her best in slot. Third best in slot probably gonna be Pella. Number 4 is probably gonna be Aventurine. If you don't have Aventurine, you can use any sustain characters like Gallagher, Locha. I wouldn't say Rocha, but Gallagher or Lingsha. Any sustain character that will be or Huahua is probably good. So yeah, you can use that as well. All right. If you don't have Jaichu, you can use Goinaifen for the meantime. I would suggest you to use Goinaifen as well. If you don't have Jaichu as a replace, for the meantime, you can use Goinaifen if you don't have Jaichu. But Jaichu is a must for Acheron. I don't think any. She is a must. He is a must for Acheron. So yeah, get a Jaichu, and then you are good to go. All right. Now let's talk about Acheron best Eidolons. Best Eidolons for Acheron is probably gonna be E2. E2 is the best. If you have E2, then you do not need, let's say you have Acheron, basically you need like a 2 nihility characters for Acheron at E0 Acheron. But once you get Acheron E2, you can remove, you just need 1 nihility character in her team. So if you get E2, if you already have E1 Acheron, then you can get E2 and you can remove Pella and you can add Sparkle, Brownia, or Tribi, or any other, especially Tribi's, you know, Tribi or Sunday, any other Harmony character, Robin. You just add that in that slot of remove Pella and add that, and Acheron is gonna do shit amount of damage. You possibly, it's gonna be insane. All right, just E2 is a must pull. E2, if you have E1, then get E2. All right, E2 is Acheron at E0 is still great if you have Jaichu, but E2 makes her just formidable, and she's a beast at E2. So if you have Acheron and if you already have E1, get her E2, you would not regret. So is Acheron a must pull? Is Acheron worth pulling even at this state when meta is heavily impacted the Honkai Star Rail? Well, it really depends. Do you have Jaichu? If you have Jaichu and don't have Acheron, then yes, Acheron is worth pulling. If you don't have Jaichu and Acheron at the same time, I would recommend you to just pull the new characters. But if you want to get these characters, get lucky, get both of them, or you can just use another method called swipe. All right. So it really comes down to what your account needs. If you don't have Aglaya, then probably Acheron is worth pulling. If you already have Aglaya Sunday, then I don't think Acheron is worth pulling in your account. But if you don't have Aglaya and you are lacking on the lightning DPS, then I highly recommend getting Acheron. But do keep that in mind. If you get Acheron, then you need to get her Lightcone. It's a must pull. Okay, just keep that in mind. And also, you can get Jaichu. So you have to keep that in mind that you need to get her best Lightcone, signature Lightcone, and Jaichu as well. So that if you can get all of this, good luck to you. Then get Acheron. All right. If you already have Aglaya, then I don't think Acheron is worth pulling for your account. All right. But yeah, all right. Anyways, so that will be the video. All right. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone. Bye.